Welcome, everyone. This is Nina Amir. I'm the Inspiration to Creation coach and a 9-time Amazon bestselling author. And today I'm here to talk about how to create a career as a successful author. I hope that's what all of you are here to learn about. If you are here and that is what you want to know about, please say hi in the chat and just say yes. I want to learn about becoming a successful author, or just say, yes, let's go. And let me just know that you can hear me and that you can see the PowerPoint in front of you, the screen that says, it's a purple screen that says how to create a career as a successful author. So please say something in the chat so I know you can hear me, see the screen, and that you're here and on board. Okay, Cheryl says, yes, let's go. Kathy said yes. I know there are more of you there than that. I can see it. There are quite a number of you here, about 30 or 40 of you. So hopefully all of you can see and hear me. So I'm going to take that. Yes, I can see and hear. Modi, thank you, Modi. I appreciate that. How are you doing, Modi? Okay, well, I've got enough people telling me that they can see and hear and they're ready to go. I got Lynn saying, go get it. So let's do that. Let's go get it. This is your time. And I want you to learn how to be a successful author and create a career. Patty says, sorry, I don't have audio. Well, everyone else does, Patty, so it must be something on your end. Please check your settings, okay? Because Lynn is saying I can see and hear. Nobody else is saying they have a problem. So please just double check that. Okay, Patty? All right, so we're going to get going. We've got a lot to cover. So let's get into this, how to create a career as a successful author. Also, do use the chat for your questions. Just plug them in there as I'm going. Unless I happen to see something, I'm doing this on my own. If I happen to see a question as I'm going, I feel like I need to answer right away, I will. The likelihood is the questions will all get answered at the end. Okay? Oh, Patty says, got it. I hope that means you have audio, Patty. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Now, here we go. All right. Yes, Patty has audio. Awesome. We got more people joining us. All right, here we go. How to create a career as a successful author. Okay, first, this webinar is being sponsored by my premier 6-month author training program, The Successful Author, Craft a Career from Idea to Book to Business. Before we get into the content, some of you are new, don't actually know me or haven't had an experience of me. So I'm going to take just a moment to tell you who I am and why I have the authority to talk about this topic. So first, I am a 9-time Amazon bestselling author. As I told you, I have 2 traditionally published Amazon best-selling books. One of those was a bestseller for over 3 years before it went into its 2nd edition, and it is still a best-selling book. And so that's my 2 traditionally published books. And then I have 7 other ebooks that have all been Amazon bestsellers on and off since they've been published. I've had 6 of my books on the same Amazon Top 100 list, the authorship list, which is all about becoming an author at the same time, and 9 books on different Amazon bestseller lists at the same time. I typically produce 3 to 4 books per year. So at this point, I'm producing about 1 traditionally published book a year and a couple ebooks per year. So right now I am working on a traditionally published book, and when I'm done with that, I will head right into producing a couple ebooks. Actually, this year I hope to produce a 2nd traditionally published book. I was the first to officially blog a book. Some of my clients have sold over 300,000 copies of their books and built thriving businesses around their books. We're going to talk about building a business around your book, and I'm a big advocate of becoming an authorpreneur and monetizing your content. So not just focusing on the book, but how to have a career. I am a hybrid author, traditionally and independently published. That means that I am doing traditional books and self-publishing books. I have self-published books on my own in a variety of ways. And now I am using assisted self-publishing through the literary agency that represents me. I've written hundreds of articles for regional, national, and international publications because I have a degree in magazine journalism. I love writing for magazines. And this really was the beginning of my career in publishing. I publish 4 blogs. I'm an avid blogger and a very busy blogger. I'm actually publishing 3 to 4 posts per week, typically 4 posts per week on 3 blogs, and occasionally a 5th post on another blog that I don't keep up with as much as I should. Excuse me. I have landed and fired several agents, so I know a lot about literary agents. And I have landed a 3rd traditional publishing deal, as I mentioned, and have several more proposals under review by publishers as I speak. And my books are in bookstores, which not everyone can say. Here's my colleague, Shelley Hitz, who found my book, How to Blog a Book, in Barnes & Noble. And you can also find the author training manual there. So that is enough about me. I want to make some promises to you here at the beginning. I said that we would cover 4 areas, and we will do that. I promise to you that you will discover the one thing you must do to craft books that sell, which has to do with why your great idea might not become a bestseller. You will find out how to write a book fast and well, and we're going to talk about the virtues of being a planner versus a seatser, someone who writes by the seat of their pants. And you will learn how to make your book promotion efforts work. We'll talk about actually 3, not 2, necessary foundational elements that go with your book marketing. And we're going to get, you're going to get the key to monetizing your content. You're going to actually find out where the money is in being an author so you can create a livelihood, a career being a writer. That means we're going to talk about a career plan. Okay, so we are going to discuss what it takes to create a career plan, and I'm going to give you some tips on how you can do that. And if I have fulfilled all these promises to you, which I will ask you if I have done that, and if I have, I'm going to take a little bit of time to talk about the Successful Author Program. There are a lot of people who've asked me to elaborate on it and to answer questions about it. And so we will have some time at the end to do that right before the question and answer period. I will be also offering some additional bonuses for this program, and then we will go into question and answer. So if you have questions, please stay on till the end. I promise I will stay until there are no more questions. Okay, so those are my promises, and here we go. Excuse me, I have allergies today. So most of you, I believe, want to write a book that becomes a bestseller, a book everyone is clamoring for. But you just want to write the book. That's really all you want to do. You want to write a book. But that isn't really all you want to do, because you can't just write a book and accomplish what we just said, to have people clamoring for your book. You want to write a book that gets read, and that means one that sells. And if all you do is just write your book, there's no guarantee that your book will sell or get read. You want to write a book that makes a meaningful and positive difference in readers' lives and in the world. For that to happen, you have to have a lot of people reading and buying your book. And you want to write a book that launches and sustains your career as an author. Okay, so you want to create a book that is actually going to give you a livelihood and allow you to continue writing. But that's not just any book. That's a book that sells an above average number of copies or becomes a bestseller. The majority of books today only sell 250 copies per year. And maybe 3,000 in their lifetime. So you need to actually create a book that is going to be a bestseller, that if not a bestseller, is at least going to sell more than the average number of copies per year. It's a book that fills a need in your market. So in order to create a bestseller or a book that sells an above average number of copies, you actually need to know who your readers are, where they exist, and what they need and want. What are their questions, their problems, their pain points? And you need to actually address that. If you write fiction, you still need to know what people want, what your readers want in your target market. Do they want another story about time travel? And is it supposed to, do they want it to take place in England, or do they want something different? So you need to fill that need. This kind of book is one that fills a hole in the bookstore shelf, on the bookstore shelf. We talk about this, as if you were to go into the bookstore and you're looking in the category where your book will exist, whether it's sci-fi or it's romance or it's psychology or spirituality or self-help or business. You go to that category and you look at all the books on the shelf, and you see that there is a need for one book. There is a book that has not been written that you are looking for, that everyone else is looking for, and there's a hole on the bookstore shelf waiting for that book. That is the book you want to write, because that is the book that will sell an above average number of copies or become a bestseller, because it's targeting the need in the market and in the category. You also need to write a book that's by someone with a platform and promotion plan. You have to have that platform and promotion plan. So an author platform is everything you've done to date to be visible in your target market. Okay, it's speaking, it's social networking, it's podcasting, it's being on YouTube, it's writing for publications, it's sharing your short stories somewhere, like on Medium or wherever, and in the process, letting the people who will eventually buy your books know who you are and what you're about and what benefit you provide to them. So that's your author platform, and your promotion plan is based on that, because without a platform, you have no one to promote to. There's nobody there when you go to promote. So you have to build up this base of raving fans and potential readers in your target market, so that when you promote, you're promoting to someone. This kind of book is also written by someone with what I call an author attitude. You have to have willingness, optimism, objectivity, and tenacity. These are characteristics of successful authors. If you don't have willingness, optimism, objectivity, and tenacity, the likelihood is you will not produce a book that will succeed and sell well, and help you create a career around it. This kind of book is also written by someone with a clear map of how to get from here to there, meaning where you are right now, to there, meaning successful authorship. This is where we discuss the career map, and we'll get into that a little later, but you really need to have a clear map of where you are now and what you have to do to succeed as an author and create a career and a livelihood around your writing. Now, you may think that would take a miracle, but it's time for a miracle. And actually, this is not a miracle that you need. It is totally possible even within 6 months or a year. And it is basically an amazing and miraculous journey, an amazing and miraculous accomplishment that you can make happen by being very intentional, purposeful, and taking action. Okay, so let's get into the 4 things I promised you I would discuss. The first is the one thing you must do to craft books that sell. To To do that, you have to first create a business plan for your book. So what is a business plan for a book? A business plan for a book really is a book proposal. And those of you who want to self-publish are probably going to say immediately, your mind's going to fire off and say, I don't need a book proposal, I'm going to self-publish. Not true. You may not need a formal book proposal, but you need the information that goes in a book proposal, because the information that goes in a book proposal, plus more if you self-publish, is what helps you evaluate your idea for success. It helps you evaluate if your book idea before you write the book is marketable, if it has the potential to sell. That is what a literary agent and an acquisitions editor at a publishing company uses a book proposal for. They use it to evaluate the marketability of a book idea. They will not take you on as a client or acquire your manuscript for publication unless it is marketable. The idea for the book is marketable. So you create a business plan for your book in order to evaluate the marketability. So what goes into this business plan? There is a section with a pitch or an elevator speech and marketing copy that talks about what your book is about and the benefit it provides and all of that. But you also need to analyze the market. So there are two sections that I think are the most important. One is the market section. And again, everyone should do this. When I work with my author coaching clients, everyone produces a market analysis. You start your market analysis with a description of your ideal reader. Who is that one person you're writing for? What are their pain points? What are their questions and problems? How can you solve them? How can you transform them? If you're telling stories, if you're a novelist, what kind of stories do they like? What kind of adventure do they want to go on? This is all information that you want to know about your ideal reader. Then you need to know how many of these ideal readers exist in the world or in the United States or in the country where you live. You need to know if you have a large enough audience. This is what an agent or an acquisitions editor wants to know. Can you sell enough books? Are there enough people out there to buy the book? Then you move on to analyze the competition. This is actually looking at the competitive titles that are out there. What books have been published that compete with yours? What book would somebody buy instead of yours? If they were holding both books, why would they buy the other book instead of yours? Now, of course, yours doesn't exist yet, but you want to look at this and say, okay, what is it that makes this other book better? What did the other author do well? What did they not do well? How can I improve on what they've done? How can I take my idea and make it better, make it target my market, and also make it unique and necessary in the category where these books live and are sold so that my book stands out from the pack? This is a creative process. You're going to take the information you have about your market and your information you have about the competing books, and you are going to craft a unique and necessary book idea. One that is unique and necessary for your readers. They want it. They need it. They can't wait to read it. It's everything they've been waiting for. And you're going to craft a unique and necessary book idea for the category where it will be sold, the category where will it exist in the bookstore. Okay, it is going to fill that hole on the bookstore shelf. Very creative process that you are going to go through with a business mindset. From there, you develop your book structure and content. At this point, you can say, okay, I know the book I need to write and provide to the market and to the category. Now I can figure out my table of contents or the storyline, and I can create chapter summaries. Okay, so this is where we're not going to be a seatser. We're not going to write by the seat of our pants. We are going to plan. We want to know exactly what's going in every chapter, because if we know what's going in every chapter of the book, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, we can be sure we write a manuscript that targets the market and is head and shoulders above the competition. and that provides the category in the bookstore with a unique and necessary addition. If you write by the seats of your pants, you will wander around, meander around as you write your book and end up needing to spend a lot of time editing and revising. If you do it this way with a plan, you will need to do less editing and revising, and you will produce a book with a higher likelihood of becoming a bestseller. Okay, so the next thing I promised I would do is to tell you how to write your book fast but well. This is not a book in a weekend strategy. It is not a book in a week strategy. It could be a book in a month strategy. Okay, now if you're writing a short ebook, maybe it is a book in a week strategy. But assuming most of you are writing a novel or a 50,000 word nonfiction book, this is probably at least a book in a month strategy. Okay, I have written a book in a month and a book in 6 weeks. What you're going to do is you're going to use the information from your book plan to produce that marketable manuscript, as I said, and you're going to stick to that plan. You are not going to write by the seat of your pants, and you're going to write your book in a timely manner, because you're going to know exactly what you have to do for each chapter, and you're going to create some deadlines, because that's part of the plan. Now, see, if you're self-publishing in your business plan, you should have had deadlines for when things would get done. And if you are self-publishing, you should have had in your plan a list of subcontractors you're going to use to do design and editing and those kind of things. But even if you traditionally publish, you're going to have some deadlines you have to stick to, right? So if you have deadlines, you know you need to write your book in a timely manner. And that is very important, because you don't want to spend 20 years or 2 years writing this book. You want to get it done quickly and effectively and efficiently and all of that. So we set up deadlines, we stick to the plan, we know what we need to write. And actually, if you've done your book planning, the way I said, you created a business plan, you now have some very important items that you can count on. You have your table of contents and you have your chapter summaries. The chapter summaries can be broken down into bulleted points or subheadings or scenes, and you can put each chapter summary in a separate document in Scrivener or in Word or Pages, and you can write to each of the statements you made about what was going into that chapter. And that makes it very easy to make sure you write this marketable manuscript. Plus, you're not wondering what to write. You're not staring at an empty screen. You look at your document and it says that you're going to do these 8 things or 10 things in this particular chapter, and you set about doing that. You write to your plan. If you really want to be focused, you can go to what we call the overview, which is what I mentioned, has the pitch and the summary and a list of benefits, and you can read through that. Or maybe as part of your business plan, you wrote a purpose statement or mission statement that says why you feel compelled to write this book. And you can read that every time you sit down to write, and when you finish writing, to make sure that you have stayed on target. So this is how you write your book fast and well. You also don't edit at this point. You're just writing. You're going to get your book done, and then you're going to go back and edit. So use that guide that I mentioned. Use the guide that you provided in your plan with your table of contents and your chapter summaries, okay? That is going to help you write your book fast and well. And by well, I don't know how well you write. I don't know anything about your writing skill. I am talking about writing it for your target market, making a marketable manuscript, and providing the content that is of benefit to your reader, because you've planned that out, okay? Content your readers want and need, content that the category wants and needs. Okay, the third thing I said I would cover is how to make your book promotion efforts work. The first thing you're going to do is create a marketable product, something that will sell. So many people say, I promoted my book, but it didn't sell. And the fact is that they didn't have a marketable product. They didn't have a product that was any good. And if you don't start with the plan, the business plan, if you don't actually go to the effort to produce a book that is saleable, then the likelihood is no matter what you do, it's not going to sell. So start with creating a product worth buying. Then make sure you develop author platform. This is the foundation for all promotion. As I said, you have to have the author platform, because if you go to promote your book and you have no author platform, no built-in readership in your target market for your book, there is nobody listening. When you say, my book is out, please buy it, nobody's there. What you want is to develop this platform of raving fans who know, like, and trust you, with whom you have developed visibility, reach, and influence, so that, and authority, so that when you say, my book has been released, please buy it, they're paying attention. You have influence with them, and they're paying attention, and there's somebody there to pay attention, and so they go out and buy your book. That is what your promotion is based on, this author platform. Once you have that in place, oh, and by the way, novelists, you need author platform too. The publishing industry is getting more and more competitive, and novelists are being asked more and more often to have a business plan, meaning a book proposal, not just a manuscript, and to have author platform. If you have those two things, you show that you have business savvy and you are head and shoulders above the other novelists who don't have that. Okay. Also, novelists and nonfiction writers need a promotion plan. This sets you apart from the others. Nonfiction authors, you must have author platform and you must have a promotion plan. The promotion plan is basically a list, a bulleted list of all the things you're going to do to help promote your book. And when the book comes out, that's what you do. And you can have pre-promotion items that you're going to do, such as, something to create pre-sales of your book. Maybe you're going to get an article published in a magazine before the book comes out, or you're going to offer something on your website for people to pre-order the book, or anything like that. And then when the book is actually released, you have, you go on a virtual book tour, or you release a course that goes with your book. Any number of things. You're going to go on a speaking tour. These all go into your promotion plan. And then you're going to carry out the plan before and after the book is released, and forever. So that's the thing, is that promotion of a book takes, doesn't happen for a day or a week or a month. It happens for a long time. It happens for several months prior to the book's release. It happens for a month to 3 months after the book's release, for a good year after the book's release. And then if you want the book to continue selling, it's for the lifetime of the book and your lifetime if you want to keep selling copies. So you have to keep that in mind. All of these things are what make your book promotion efforts work. Okay, the fourth thing I said I would talk about was how to monetize your work. Where's the money? Well, to find the money, you have to actually think beyond the book. The book is just the beginning of your career and your way to make a livelihood as an author. So the first thing to do if you're going to monetize your work is to brand yourself. And as we go to the next slide and start thinking about the career plan, you're going to see what goes into branding yourself. But branding yourself is basically deciding what benefit or value you provide to your readers. Or another way to look at it is, how do you want to be known by your readers, by, to your audience? How do you want them to think of you? Okay, so, we have Levi's jeans are known for their durability. I mean, that's what we think of, Levi's jeans, durability. When I think of Nike and their swoosh sign, I always think just do it, right? So it's about taking action. This is what you want to think about when you're branding yourself. And authors need a brand just like big box stores do as well. You want people to easily recognize you and your work. and to know what they're going to get out of that, what value they get from you. Then when you have that, the next thing you want to do is figure out how to leverage your content into products and services. Novelists, I know you're saying, I don't know how to do this. Let me talk to nonfiction first, and then I will talk about novelists. Nonfiction authors, your books are created with content that is perfect for products and services. Most of you are authorities or experts, and you can put yourself out there as speakers and coaches. Those are services. You might also be able to provide a done for you service. So maybe, you are writing about how to self-publish and you want to help people self-publish. That's a service. Maybe you're going to publish their books for them. That's a done for you service. You could do done with you services where you actually work with the person to do something. Products could be courses of any type, e-courses, video courses, live workshops or teleseminars, online courses, could be membership sites, any number of things, paid webinars, webinar like this, but people pay, anything like that. And then you could sell the recording of it. I wrote a whole book on this called Authorpreneur, which goes into all the different ways that you can leverage your content into products. So for the nonfiction author, every chapter almost can be a course of its own. Or you could take the let's say you have 10 steps or 5 steps. You could take those and make 5 modules or 10 modules for a course that elaborates on the content in the book. People learn in different ways. So this is a really wonderful way to leverage your content. Novelists. Okay, so as we look at the career plan in a minute, you're going to see how you can begin to think about your books for topics and themes. But that's really what you need to do here is start thinking, what topic or theme runs through all my books that I could speak about in a different way. So maybe all your books have an element of nature preservation in them. And so maybe you could be out speaking about nature preservation. And in the process of that, you sell your books at the back of the room. So that makes you a speaker, right? So that's a service. However, you could also cross over into nonfiction, and you could do a short ebook about how to preserve our natural parks or our natural resources or something like that. And that would also give you the opportunity to speak in more places and sell your books at the back of the room. Way more places to speak than if you were just going to do book signings in a bookstore. And you could also create, some mini e-courses, even just an emailed course that has to do with planting, collecting seeds of your native plants in your area, and then using them to plant more natural plants, in your own backyard or whatever. Something like that. So you have to think broader. There are the knitting authors who are providing knitting, what do you call them? When they tell you how to knit a sweater. So they're providing that as a product. So just think beyond your book. So that takes us to this, how to create a map to successful authorship. This is a big topic, and I can't get into all of it here. I actually spend 4 or 5 sessions with clients just on their career plan. And I did do a video on this in my Successful Author video series, but I want to go over this again with you because it's really important if you want to create a career as an author, to have a career plan. And it says here, best-selling author career plan. It really is just your successful author career plan or your career plan. And if you don't have this, you're really kind of missing the boat on figuring out how to create a livelihood from your books. So what I do here is I begin with my clients by going through and asking them, what are you passionate about? We make a list of the things they're passionate about. So ask yourself, what am I passionate about? Then we talk about what is your purpose. So, do you feel you have a calling, a mission, a sole purpose? Is there some reason that you want to write your books? Or maybe this just relates to your life in general. Typically, people that I work with have a sense of purpose or mission related to the books they want to write and what they want to do in the world related to that. Then we go on to values. What do you value most? Now, this can be quite broad because some people will, value their family or value their health or, things like that, along with valuing serving others or things that are related to their books. But we go through and we create a list of values. Then we actually, themes comes a little later these days. This map that I have here is a little bit old compared to what I normally do. So we skip ahead to number 5, which is topics typically. And we will do topics and we'll make a whole list of topics. And the topics list can be quite long for some people. They may want to write about a very broad range of things. Then we're going to come back to themes. Then we jump over to the right side of this career map and we start brainstorming books. Most of my clients come to me and they say, I have one book they want to write, or maybe 2. And so we write those down and maybe we put a title with it. And if they have a pitch, we put a pitch with it. And then we brainstorm. And the question I ask is, if you could write any book in the world, what would you write? And we brainstorm all the different books that they're going to, that they would love to write. Once we've done that, we go back to number 4, which is themes, and we look at the themes that run through their passion, their purpose, their values, their topics, and most importantly, their books. We look for a thread that runs through everything. Novelists, here's where you need to pay attention, because your novels should have a thread running through them if you want to brand yourself well. So we look for this thread running through everything. This then brings us over to number 9. Okay, which is branding. And we think about now, what kind of URL are you going to buy? Is it just going to be your name, or is it going to be something else that says something about, what the benefit you're providing? And then what's the tagline for your website? And what colors will you use? And what images will you use? How will you carry out this brand? Okay, once we have that, we can think about the actual website and the blog. I see that Cheryl asked, what's the best source to create my website and blog? I suggest WordPress. Easiest way to do this. And really today, this is the technology almost everyone is using. So you use WordPress and you create not WordPress.com, but WordPress.org, where you have to pay for hosting. And you create a website with a blog. The reason you need the blog is because it gives you the ability to produce content all the time on a regular basis, and Google comes along and catalogs that, indexes it, it drives your site up in the search engine results pages. And that's what you're sharing on the social networks to drive people back to your site and give you visibility in your target market. Anyway, you create your author website and your blog. We then talk a bit about platform building and promotion. How are we going to do that? Then we go back over to the books and we actually prioritize them. We look at, for the ones that we think are the top on the list, we think about which one will get you where you want to go the fastest. Could be that your big book, the one you really want to do, actually shouldn't be done yet because you don't have the platform for it, so it's not going to sell well. And maybe you need to produce a few other books first. We look at the market, the competition, all of that for the books to make sure that they're saleable, marketable. And then we get into number 7 and 8, which are products and services. And for each book, maybe not right away, but as the client begins to move towards producing those books, or maybe as they're evaluating which books to do first, we think about what products and services they can create to go with those books in order to monetize their content, to leverage what they have into a living, into a livelihood. So we're looking at how they are creating this big picture. They're branding themselves, they're creating an author website where they're blogging, and they're also going to sell their products and services. And we're looking at all those books and the themes that run through them and how they can monetize that content with products and services and how we can implement that on their website so that they're making money. You do not make the majority of your money from book sales. If you're only selling 250 copies a year, that is not going to sustain you, not going to pay your mortgage or your rent. So you have to find other ways to do that. Okay? So this is how you do it. With this kind of career plan where you're thinking ahead and creating a business around your books. Okay? I discovered this process as I was trying to create a career for myself. I mean, I started out just like everyone else with just a book idea. And I very quickly learned that even though I had literary agents and publishers telling me that I could write and I produced a good business plan or book proposal, and they liked my ideas, that they weren't going to pick me up. They weren't going to purchase my books and publish them because I didn't have a platform. The more I worked with the book proposal, I realized that it was the means to create a business plan for a book and to actually evaluate whether a book idea had any merit, whether it was worth publishing in terms of, would it sell and could I create a business around it? Once I started implementing this plan and started looking at the bigger picture of a career plan, because I started to think about when I learned that books weren't selling that well, the average author didn't make money off, didn't create a living from their royalties or their book sales, I realized that there had to be other ways. And I started to learn about that. I started to study the authors who were making money, and most of them were providing other products and services. And so I looked at that and said, okay, you have to be an entrepreneur, and what can I do to follow in their footsteps, to mimic their success? And when I started to do that, I produced not only, using the business plan, I produced not only bestseller after bestseller. I no longer have 5 best-selling books. Oops, I'm sorry. I thought I had put something in there to change the 5. But I produced not only 5 best-selling books, but 9, as I told you. And for most of these books, I have created some kind of product or service. And I'm in the process of creating more and creating, sales pages and all of that to help me sell these products and services. So by using what I learned, I have created a livelihood for myself. I now, every year I make more and more money, and I fulfill my purpose by working with other authors and speakers and coaches and therapists, all kinds of people who want to write books and build businesses around them. So I would love to tell you how to take this information to the next level and how I can support you in doing so. So what I'd like to know is, did I fulfill my promises to you? Did I go through all the topics that I promised I would go through, and did I give you that information? Could you, in the chat pane, say, yes, you did it, and or yes, or anything like that? And if so, I'm going to just take a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, to tell you about this successful author, and then I am going to go on to answer your questions. I see, Elaine, you have a question that I haven't answered yet, and I will answer that for you. So please, everybody, could you just type in there, yes, I fulfilled my promise? Just yes, or you did it, or anything like that. So I know that we're all on board, because I feel like I did. Okay, well, there are a bunch of you in here. Let me know. Did I do what I was supposed to do? Lynn says, yes, you did. Cheryl, yes. Thanks, Nina. Patty, yes. Okay, that's enough of you. Modi, absolutely, thanks. Debbie, yes, you did. Okay, so here we go. I promise I'll go through this fast. I'm going to talk in my New Yorker speed, okay? Thanks, Babs. All right, so I want to introduce you to the successful author, craft a career from idea to book to business, my premium 6-month author training program. And by the way, please do type your questions in the chat box about the program or about anything I've covered today, and I'm going to answer those as soon as I'm done with this. And thank you, Kate. She says, yes, great job. You're a gifted teacher. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so this is my premium 6-month author training program, The Successful Author. Here's the thing. You're on this call because you aspire to become a published author and you want to succeed as an author, which means sell lots of books and create a career around authorship and publishing. You even told me that's what you wanted to do. And you need the most thorough and comprehensive author training available so you can achieve that goal sooner rather than later. Successful Author Premium Coaching Program or Author Training Program gives you the tools to create marketable books. Exactly what I've been talking about this whole time. It teaches you how to develop multiple streams of income from each book to support your continued writing work, as I said, through products and services. It gives you the information you need to write your proposal, business plan, and book. We do spend time in this course writing the book as well. And it provides a career map to follow to achieve the success you desire. Over everything we do in this course, we are always working on this career map, this career plan. This premium author training program also gives you a proven strategy to write not one successful book, but many, and turn each into a profitable product line. This whole idea of the plan, the business plan for your book is based on a strategy that's been used in the publishing industry for centuries. Every publisher requires this business plan, and they use a book proposal as the business plan for a book to evaluate it. All I'm doing is teaching you how to use it in the same way, not to just slap together some information. But the program is not just about that. As I said, you create a career map, you write your book, and you figure out how to build a business around that book. The program includes 2 group coaching sessions per month, 12 total. Each one is an hour to an hour and a half long. The value for this is over $3,000 if you were to actually hire me for this amount of time. You get monthly office hours for 15 minutes. This is one-on-one laser coaching sessions with me, so not group coaching. You actually get time with me every month for 15 minutes if you want it. And the value for that is well over $1,000. There's a private Facebook group. You can use that every day if you want to ask a question and get it answered by me, or to just get support and be in community with the other people in the program. I have built into this program $2,300 in bonus training. Each module has 2 to 7 bonus training programs, ranging from some of my best-selling courses to totally new courses you've never seen from me before. There are 4 modules to help you reach your goal of successful authorship. The first one is Craft Books That Sell. The second one is Write Your Best-Selling Book Fast. The third one is Develop a Strong Platform and Promotion Plan. And the fourth is Build a Business Around Your Book. So you can see that I cover everything in those 6 months that I talked about here. Plus, you could do the career plan, of course. I'm giving you everything in here. I had a friend tell me that I had thrown in the whole kitchen sink, and it really is the whole kitchen sink. I've given you the best that I have. I have gone long and wide to try and give you the broadest possible education in just 6 months. I really feel this is the most comprehensive education you could find anywhere. I brought in some of the best experts I know to supplement what I know or what I don't know, 22 of them, to be sure you get all the information you need to succeed. And so that you don't just hear it from me, you hear it from other people. Plus you get my 36 years of experience, all the knowledge I've gained, and access to me to ask your questions and to get support. You get a printed copy of the author training manual, unless you live outside the US, in which case I'll send you an ebook. But you also get that so that you can use that as the foundation for this training, okay? So it's required reading. So I give it to you. There's tons of bonus training, as I said. All these courses are in this program. How to write a long book fast, how to write a short book fast, write a novel fast, how to self-publish your book, how to traditionally publish your book, branding for authors, blogging for authors, mind mapping for authors, high-performance writer, and how to build engaged communities. All of this is in there for you. Plus, you get bonus books, templates, and reviews. You will, as I said, get the author training manual. Plus, you get my best-selling Easy Schmeezy book proposal template, which will help you create a book proposal or your business plan. If you're going to self-publish, it's just a business plan. You get my nonfiction book proposal demystified, the Right Nonfiction Now Guide to Writing a Book in 30 Days. Plus, this is a biggie. You get a proposal or business plan review by a literary agent worth $350. And I will personally review your plan for you, your career plan, another $300 value. So some of you have been asking, when does it happen? The coaching sessions are on Mondays from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, the first and third week of the month. The course begins February 3rd and ends July 20th. The office hours for those laser coaching sessions vary month to month to make it possible for more people to access them. Now, there are some Act Now bonuses. There are 2 bonuses that I've been promoting for a while that go away today, and that is a 1-hour coaching session with me that you need to redeem within 6 months. But at this year's prices, that's a $200 value. But my prices for coaching sessions are actually going up. But you will get a 1-hour coaching session with me, one-on-one. You also get a 1-year membership to the Nonfiction Writers University, which right now is a $200 value, but is also going up at the end of the month. And that Nonfiction Writers University is enormously valuable, way more value than $200. Now, for those of you on the call, I have 2 additional bonuses. The first 5 people to register receive a website or blog review from me, and that's a $300 value. You have 6 months to use that. Basically, I will get with you and take a look at your website and blog and give you feedback to improve it. The first 3 people to register are also going to get a signed copy of How to Blog a Book, the revised and expanded edition. But you need to live in the US for that, okay? Because otherwise I'll send you an ebook. So this is an extra $716 in value. You need to register, however, by tonight, January 26th by midnight Pacific time, to receive all these bonuses. So the Successful Author Program, the real value is over $8,850, probably over $9,000. But what you pay is only $2,857, or you can make 3 payments of $999. So if you're ready to invest in your dream of successful authorship, I suggest that you register today to get the bonuses, or at least by the end of January, because registration does end January 30th at 11 p.m. Pacific time. I have only 15 spots available, truly only 15. The group could be smaller than that, but I won't take more than 15. This is your opportunity. You know, how many times have you walked through the door of opportunity or not walked through the door of opportunity? I'm not saying this is an easy program, that, it's not any get quick fast program, but it's a program that will, or a training program that is going to help you get where you want to go, which is successful authorship. Brendon Burchard always talks about the fact that when you knock on the door of opportunity, work answers. So I'm not going to say that this is a get rich fast scheme or a write your book fast scheme. It's not. It is none of that. This is the real work of becoming a successful author. So register now if you want to claim over $3,000 in bonuses. I think that, despite the price, this is invaluable, that really what you're getting is invaluable. It will serve you for your whole career as an author. There is a payment plan available, but you can pay in full and save money. Here is the link if you would like to take advantage of the offer. It is bit.ly/the successful author, bit.ly/the successful author. You can go there and get, I'm sorry, I'm going to put it up in the chat pane so that you can see it. Hopefully, let me know if you can see the offer there. You should be able to just click on it. And when it says, yes, I want to register now, you don't have to register, but it will take you to the page and you can actually see more information about the program. So does everybody see the offer in the chat pane now? Can somebody just say, yes, I see the offer, so I know it's there, because I can't see it. I would really appreciate that. So there is the link again, bit.ly, the successful author. Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that. So just quickly, and then I'm going to do question and answer. Here are two testimonials from people who've taken the course. Rolf Erickson said the successful author is not just another writing course. It is a systematic program for planning, taking action, and following through to bring your writing to the largest possible audience. Whether you want to self-publish or attract a publisher, Nina offers the personal support and inspiration you need to achieve success. If you're ready to commit to becoming a published author, this course is for you. And I can tell you, Rolf went through almost all the exercises at the back of the author training manual. He was so committed. He was amazing. Also, Mark Furlong, he actually self-published a bunch of books while he took the course. Not only does Nina provide an abundance of great training, both from herself and other real experts, but she also provides direct guidance. Nina is a great combination of real expertise. She really knows what she's talking about, practical wisdom, and humanness. In the successful author training I attended, she adjusted her materials and knowledge to the needs of the individuals in the group, giving us exactly what we needed when we needed it. If you want to learn how to find the right approach, the right topics, and how to turn your written materials into a part-time or full-time career, the Successful Author course is for you. Okay, last thing. This is a no-risk offer, really. This is a guaranteed program, and it says here, create your best-selling author career. Sorry, that used to be the program name. It's now called the Successful Author, and I just failed to change this. If you go through the program and in the first month, you don't feel like this is going to give you what you want, I will give you your money back if you're dissatisfied, okay? If you're dissatisfied, you get your money back within the first month. And not only that, I'll consult with you for free to make sure what you're doing follows the formula for creating a best-selling author career and succeeding as an author. No questions, no hassles. If you're dissatisfied within the first month, you get your money back. But I want to be clear that in the first month, you're not going to get the whole program, okay? This is dripped out to you over the course of the program. The first month, we're only dealing with creating a marketable book and your business plan. But if you're not happy with that, I will give you your money back and I will consult with you. So one more time, here's the offer. I'm going to just stress that the registration date, registration ends January 30th, and tonight those bonuses go away, okay? Let's now go to Q&A, all right? The bonus is up in the chat pane. We're going to do Q&A. I'm going to just leave this up here so that you have that there. And I'm going to answer questions. So I'm going to scroll down, see what questions there were. Any other questions? It does not have to be about the program. Hopefully you have some questions about the webinar material, and I will stay on because I know we're just about at the hour. I will stay on until I've answered all your questions. Okay, so I'm scrolling back. I answered this one. Cheryl asked, what's the best source to create my website and blog? It is WordPress. Elaine asked, what do you think of selling short stories as ebooks that relate to my book? I think that's a great idea. I suggest you take a look at Diana Gabaldon, who she wrote short stories that weren't so short. She wrote little novellas that were about other characters in her books and created a whole series around them. So anything you do like that is phenomenal, I think. I also do remember somebody asked how long the presentation was. I typed in there 60 minutes. Now we're into Q&A, so we'll probably go over a little bit. Will the presentation be available for download? There will be a replay you will get. Cheryl asks, how many time is appropriate to write each day? Do you mean on your blog, Cheryl? Can you type that in there? Do you mean on your blog, or do you mean just writing in general? Is this course different than the university? Patty asks. So I'm going to come back to you, Cheryl, when you give me elaboration. Yes, Patty, this course is different than the university. So the Nonfiction Writers University, which if you join right now, there actually are 2 bonuses I'm giving away there as well, if you join before the end of the month. And before the price goes up. The university, I do a teleseminar or webinar there every month, kind of like this. A lot of times they're just teleseminars where you can listen by phone. The university members always have a recording of it, so everything's archived and you can listen at any time. There's 2 years of, right now there's 2 years of archives of events relating from everything from writing articles to publishing books to blogging, to building an email list, to doing PowerPoint presentations, all kinds of things. Everything related to writing nonfiction. So besides the monthly teleseminar, starting last year, we implemented a monthly group coaching session. So, if you've been wanting to coach with me and feel like you can't afford it, every month there is a group coaching session. Almost everyone, actually usually everyone, gets on the hot seat and gets to ask me a question. That's all it is the members come and ask me questions and I answer them and support them in whatever way I can with resources or answers. Every month you get a challenge to complete. So kind of like homework. I used to call it homework, but I don't anymore because most people don't like homework, but challenges are a good thing. They stretch you. So you get a challenge to do something that is going to advance your career. I'm hoping this year to also start adding little videos of how to do certain things to help people. And there's some bonus courses and ebooks in there as well, and a variety of other bonus trainings. So it's really a phenomenal place for a very affordable price to get coaching, support, education, and to take steps every month towards developing your successful career as a nonfiction author. So I hope that answers your question, Patty. If it doesn't, ask me another one. Lynn says, does the book brainstorm generate a paragraph or so? When we're brainstorming books using as we do with a career plan, I usually try to get my clients to brainstorm a tentative book title and a pitch. Sometimes it's just a book title and a few words or bullet points about what they think the book will be about. But if they're really serious about doing that book, if it really floats their boat, then we go ahead and we write a pitch for it. So like an elevator speech, and that would not be more than a paragraph. Matter of fact, I try to aim for under 100 words. Okay. So that's what we would do there. But we do want to have some idea of what those books are about. So we want to have something there. And if it means that you write a paragraph, that's fine. Okay, Cheryl, we're back to Cheryl. Cheryl says the blog and write. So, okay. So how many times do you write per day on the blog and writing in general? Okay. Do you mean me? I'm going to talk in general and then I'll talk about me because I'm not sure which one you meant. So, okay. So if you are just beginning to blog, nobody likes my answer. If you're just starting to blog, in order to really make headway, I suggest that you blog a minimum of 5 times a week. You only need 300 words. This is going to put the thing you have to know is that Google is indexing everything you write. And so every time and publish on your blog. And so the more often you write something and publish it, that's at least 300 words in length, they're going to catalog that for the keywords or search terms that are in it. And it's going to start to push your blog up in the search engine results pages for those keywords or search terms. So the more often you're writing and the more consistently, the faster that's going to happen. Now, most writers say, I'm not going to do that. Okay, I did it. On one of my blogs, I wrote 5 days a week for 2 years. I think it was 2 years. It was at least a year. I can't remember. I have a hard time remembering right now. But anyway, if you can't do that, do 3 times a week. If you can't do that, do 2 times a week. Do not write less than 1 time a week. You will get nowhere fast or slowly. You'll get nowhere very slowly. If you want to get somewhere fast, you have to write more than once a week. Writing in general, I suggest that you're writing every day or a minimum of 3 to 5 times a week. Okay, so now assuming that you meant me, Cheryl, I blog probably 4 days a week or 5 days a week, depending on my schedule. I try to cluster it into a couple days and get all 4 of my blog posts. Again, I said I have a fifth post that I sometimes write, but that one is occasional because that site, it's just not a priority for me anymore. It's a passion of mine, but not a priority. So I have 3 sites with 4 posts. And so I try to do, 2 or 3 in one day. Rarely does it happen. There are days when, weeks when I am writing 4 posts over 4 days. But sometimes I can get 2 done in a day and then 2 done on another day. But so my blogging I try to cluster it. That doesn't always happen. If not, I'm writing 4 days a week, sometimes 5 days a week on blog posts. As for books, I'm only writing on my books when I have a book contract. If I don't have a book contract or if I'm not working on an ebook, which I'm going to be turning in on a deadline to my literary agent, then I am probably writing something else such as marketing content, emails, a book proposal. If I'm writing a book, I usually have a schedule to write every day. It doesn't always happen, and sometimes I have to do catch up because I have so much going on. If you don't have as much going on as me, I really suggest that you're writing every day because it just keeps you on a schedule. It keeps you in the flow. It's much better. If you have questions about, my actual schedule and why I don't manage to write every day, ask that question. Okay, so there are other questions I want to keep going. For students of the course, Jay asks, for students of the course, do you put them in direct contact with a publisher? Or if they take the self-publishing route, do you take them through all the steps to get published? I don't put you in direct contact with a publisher, Jay. You produce the book proposal and you get the review by the literary agent. That is not to actually get a contract with that literary agent, although you are free to contact that literary agent. If I have suggestions, if I feel strongly about your work and I have suggestions on literary agents, I will tell you. But really, unless you're going with a small publishing house, and I may make suggestions for a small publishing house if I know of one that's appropriate for your work, but if you're not going with a small publishing house, you need a literary agent anyway to get into a publisher. I will talk about some of the steps it takes to get published, yes, and there is a course on self-publishing where I have talked to self-publishing experts. I actually don't perceive myself as a self-publishing expert. I have done it, but I choose not to do it myself anymore. I use assisted self-publishing. So I brought in some other people, and if you really need more assistance with self-publishing, I turn you on to people who can help you with that. But I do go through the general steps of that and can answer all those questions during coaching sessions. And as I said, there are courses on both hybrid, traditional publishing, and self-publishing that are there to help you. Okay, Patty. Not sure if this can be answered here. I wrote my book and proposal, not sure which program to take with you. Patty, tell me what it is you feel you need. I can't answer that unless I know what you feel you need. You may need your proposal reviewed. I do proposal editing and reviews, and that may be what you need. Depending on what type of book you're writing, fiction or nonfiction, I also would give me more information. Okay, any other questions? I think I answered most of them. More questions? Patty says, I need an editor and a review. Is it fiction or nonfiction, Patty? So if all you need is a review of your proposal, an editor and a review, what I provide is a, excuse me, a review of your proposal. Like I do some line editing, but not, I do some line editing. I wouldn't say a huge amount. And then I do like a developmental edit of your proposal to tell you what needs to be fixed or changed to make a stronger argument for the marketability of your book. Okay. I have two ways to do that. One is a quick review where you just pay by the number of pages and all you could do is get a review. The other one is a back and forth with me where you pay more money, but you go back and forth with me several times until it's done. Then I also have a proofreader who is a grammarian, and I set her to work on it so that whatever proofreading or grammar correction it needs can be done. If you really need a line editor, then I would give you a line editor as well. And those are if you do the big proposal review with me, the proofreader is included in that cost. If you need a line editor, that's extra. So I hope that helps. Stacy says, thanks for the information. I live in Europe. Group sessions are at 1 in the morning. Okay. Sorry, Stacy. I'm going to be offering some other things that are related to this, and you're on the list now, so you'll probably get those. Okay. And if enough people sign up and, are need a different time, then I would consider doing a different time. Patty says fiction. Well, I can definitely edit your fiction proposal, and awesome that you actually wrote a proposal for fiction. Most people don't do that. So, you know, it may be, since you say you're struggling with it, that you need a full review, you know, the bigger program where we go back and forth. Or it may be that you just need a quick review and I go through it and give it back to you and you fix it. That's really up to you. But anyway, that would be my feedback there. Any other questions, anyone? So I'll just, while I'm waiting to see if anyone has any more questions, I'll just remind you one last time that final registration date for the Successful Author is January 30th. You do need to register by midnight tonight if you want to get the bonuses that were mentioned on the call today. And I think that's it. No more questions? I'm just scanning through. All right, well, if there are no more questions, then I'm going to call it a wrap. And I want to thank all of you for being on the call, especially those of you who have stayed on the whole time. Really appreciate you sticking with me. And I hope you got something out of the call. Even if you don't sign up for the program, I always want to give you great information that you can use to further your career as authors. Oh, Patty says, thank you very much. You're so inspirational. Please email. I'll do that, Patty. And thank you for the feedback. And it was great speaking with all of you today. And again, I hope you got something out of this and that you take the information and put it to use so that you can go out and achieve more inspired results. Bye, everyone.